I'm gonna get right into it, getting working on this thing. I got a lot to pull apart, as you'll see in the upcoming video. And anyway, I started this whole thing out as just fun. You know, as I mentioned, I'm taking you guys along. I didn't expect to. Well, it's last time I looked, it was like 92 followers. I appreciate you guys watching. This is kind of cool for me. You know, like I said, it's just something fun for me. So it's kind of cool that people are actually subscribing to it. So anyway, I just wanted to say thank you for it. So with that being said, I'm just gonna jump right into it and we'll get started. And I'm excited to get it put back together. So I'll take you along. I'll take you along for the ride with me. Here we go. So you can put that on there,
yeah,
punch on it, and it's, you see it's flush,
yeah.
and then smack it, it'll go in. See? See? It went
How
back
far?
at least 1/8 of an inch. It might go more with a better hammer.
How far is that supposed to go, or is that just for the cover? Is that the cover alignment dowel?
Yeah, that's what lines it all up. And what they do is they spit out, they land here, and then they get, and then it breaks the case, it breaks teeth off gears and kaputs. It's all done.
I thought you were talking about it was something like in here,
No.
one of these type of gears here.
Nope. So,
Okay, is that
yep,
it is alignment dowel for the
yep.
case.
So they call it the killer dowel pin because it kills things.
Kills everything. Yeah, it's done when that goes.
Yep. So now line the engine up top dead center, and when that comes off, the injection pump can come off the back, and
Which one's the case?
camshaft right there,
Okay,
and then that one can come out.
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to pick from. Let me try and find the camshaft.
Yeah, so let's do the next one. I didn't get everything recorded. I forgot to do some of the filming on some of the other stuff, but I wanted to show you one of the other issues that I found. Remember a while back I mentioned that the number 6 injector was leaking, and I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if I can find the screwdriver here. There we go. You can see where there's an O-ring. Here's one of the other ones. These are the transfer tubes, but you can see the O-ring goes all the way around of it. Here's number 6. This is the one I was having issues with leaking. You can see the O-ring there. And it goes to this here. And it's gone. So it looks like it was cut. So I have no explanation on why it was cut. When I took the truck into the shop to have all the other service work done on it while I was going to work on the trailer, they were supposed to do the computer work, and I asked them to do a few other things. One of them was change the fuel water separator, or the filter on it, and I'm thinking that for some reason this tube was pulled out or something. I'm not sure, but that is the reason right there why it was leaking. So I'm going to replace all the O-rings. I'm going to send I know it's probably borderline paranoid, but I'm going to send the injectors in to the place I got them from, just to make sure they are what they are, what they were originally. I don't know if that's normal. I mean, there's less than 500 miles on the truck since I've had it, since I put these injectors into it. So I don't know if that's normal or not, but just to test them to make sure everything's good, and I'll replace all the O-rings on it and try it again, and that will solve the hard starting problem. So let me show you the engine block, and then I'll run you inside and show you the cylinder head. Here is the engine block with the cylinder head popped off on it. One of the first things that concerned me is it's obvious that somebody put a head gasket onto it. You can see all the spots where somebody took a biscuit sander to it or a high-speed little roll-lock, 2-inch roll-lock disc on it, and you can see where they sanded it down. So that's concerning to me. I'm going to put a straight edge on it tomorrow and see how it looks. The cylinder bores look good. There's still crosshatch in them. There's 214,000 miles on it, so if this is the original engine to the truck, that's actually not bad. There's carbon on the top of the cylinders, but there's no ring ridge. If I was to take a little Scotch-Brite to the carbon, that will probably come off, and then there would be no edge there whatsoever. I don't think I'm going to do that because it looks good just the way it is. When all the head bolts were out and I went to lift the head up, it lifted right up. The head gasket stuck to the cylinder head itself. It did not stick to the block. So I don't know why the head gasket was changed or when it was changed or how many miles are on it, other than the fact that somebody's been into it. And I discovered here, you can see all the silicone. It looks like somebody had been in there, and my thought was, well, maybe somebody was doing the roll pin, or I'm sorry, the dowel, and originally, you seen me earlier when I pushed it back, but the dowel pin was actually flush with it, and I tapped it back a little bit. So it has not been tabbed, and so that was not why they were in. And then I discovered that there's actually a speedy sleeve here. So my guess is somebody got into this because the front crank seal was leaking, and they put a speedy sleeve on it. And if you can look here, all the excessive oil, it looks pretty old now, but that's probably why somebody got into the front side of it. So I kind of look at engines as a mystery. You can pull them apart and tell that they're original, or you can pull them apart and discover that no, things have been changed, and you can usually find out or figure out why. So, but other than that, I'm going to put a straight edge on the block tomorrow and see if we're flat, if we're not flat, how bad it is, and then we'll make a decision from there. But I'm hoping it's flat. So anyway, let me run you in and I'll show you the cylinder head. So here's the cylinder head. I have not wiped anything off of it because I wanted to show you guys, but it's the same scenario. Somebody took a Scotch lock to it and they scuffed it up, so that's kind of concerning. I'm going to use the cylinder head I have that has the O-rings on it, so this part here won't matter, and I know that head's been surfaced already. So it is actually flat. The gasket, this is the gasket on it. I don't know what brand it is. It's either a Felpro or it's a Cummins. As I understand, there's a big debate on that there's a difference or there's not a difference. So I know Cummins doesn't actually make the gaskets, and somewhere on this one I thought it said, no, I'm not going to be able to find it. Said it was made in England or something. Not that it matters, but so anyway, the head gasket looked fine. I don't know why it was taken off of it. All the valves look good. Said I'm gonna throw this back on the shelf for a core, and I mean, there's no excessive depth. There's nothing sticking up. I mean, without pulling the valve out, you can't see if the seats are any cracked, but it actually looks pretty good from just the outside view of it. So, like I said, it ran fine, but so that's all I have for this, and I just wanted to show you this. Just one more step in the long process, and then tomorrow Monday, I'm not sure when it's going to happen. I had help tonight doing this stuff, and he's not available tomorrow. So anyway, let me try one thing real quick. Just thought I'd squirt a little brake clean on it and a Scotch-Brite and see what it does. just to see if it cleans up. Yeah, it cleans up. So anyway, that's my only concern, is the obvious spots. I thought that was going to be a low spot, but it's flat. So anyway, back to my original. That was my only concern, was that you can see where it's been rusting there, so it makes me wonder if it was even touching. I mean, is there that much gap in it? I'm not sure, but like I said, this head won't be going back on, so it'll be a good core. I can have it taken a look at, and take all the pieces off of it and swap it onto the other one, and throw this one on the shelf for the project it was meant for. And anyway, that's all I have for now. Here's a little update for you. I've got the cylinder head back on. I managed to find a whole set HE351, and as you can see, it fits. It doesn't hit the frame. There's 2 inches between the bottom of the inlet tube to the top of the frame, so that one will work for looking at compounds. And then the wires are far enough away, I might put another heat shield over it. But it bolts up to the aftermarket, I guess it'd be a 3rd generation exhaust manifold. That was the factory style that came with it. I replaced it with an aftermarket one for better breathing. And as you can see, I had to put the cylinder head on back on. It's just sitting there. I've got 4 head bolts in it. I wanted to see if the turbo would fit in, so now I can move forward with the other stuff and look at some of the compound turbo kits out there now that I know that'll fit. The one I am looking at, it connects to the backside on the lower turbo, snakes up here, and the bell there on the manifold might hit the pipe, the hot pipe, so I'll have to look at that. And then the upper turbo mounts somewhere around here, and the downpipe, I might have to modify the floor or get a section of pipe made there that will go down, missing everything, and I might have to relocate the fuel lines, which is not a big deal. So anyway, that's just kind of a little update. So now I can move back onto the front timing cover. I'm going to pull the cover off the injection pump. We've got a really good fuel house or diesel service shop here. They service diesel parts, pieces, injectors, injection pumps. So I'm going to run it down there and then have them put it on their bench, test it, make sure it's good, and then replace anything that needs to be replaced. But I wasn't having any issues with it. No codes on it, so I'm not too concerned with it. And then I have to pull the air pump off of it, and the front gear case cover will come off. And then somebody else had mentioned the engines themselves are the same between the pickups. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe you can see it on this side. No, probably not. Well, this is what they use for the engine mount. This is the front engine mount. It connects on the outside edge of the engine block, and then one single in the middle. And then you probably can't see it in the back because the exhaust pipe. The bell housing, the flywheel bell housing, connects to the back of the engine block, and then it connects to the frame down here. I'm not sure if you can see it. It's the same on both sides, so it's actually only mounted in 3 locations. And then the pickup truck, I don't think you can see it. The mounting bosses are actually in the block. This bracket here for the wire is actually screwed into one of them, but that's where the pickup truck bolts up to. So it's basically the same engine, just different mounting locations. So, and I'm not sure about the marine application, how they're mounted, or generators, for example. They might use the same style here, or the mounting bosses on the side. I'm not sure. So anyway, I'm gonna keep going, and I will update you when I get the rest of this stuff off. Oh, and somebody wants to play ball. Here's a little quick update for you. I got the injection pump out. I'm pulling the front timing gear cover off because I could not get the injection pump out. Whoever worked on this prior, there's the bracket here, they did not put the bolts back into the bottom of the injection pump, so it was holding up on there, and so I needed to pull that out there. I'm going to change the gasket on the back side of it anyway, and air compressor pump is attached to the side of the block as well. The power steering pump is attached on the back side of it, so it was just easier to pull the front cover off, and then chances are I'm going to end up doing the oil pan gasket anyway. But I wanted to show you that, and then I think it's ready to come off there. So that piece is off, and yeah, I'm going to end up changing the oil pan gasket. So there's the front of it. I can pull that out and I'll fix that, put the bolt in it, and attach it to the block on the back side where they normally are. But anyway, there's the air compressor pump, and I think that's it. Oh, and then I showed you originally the motor mount attached to the front of the block, and well, let me show you. This block here, or this holes here on the both sides, the engine mount had to be removed in order to pull those bolts off. So I can put the engine mount back on, and that will stabilize the engine. Otherwise, you just lift up on the bottom of the oil pan. And I think that's it. So just another update. I've got all of the lifters out other than the very last one. The plastic tray I was using didn't work out as well as I thought it did. I was able to get all of them out except for, like I said, the last one, and so I have to modify it a little bit. You just use a big magnet and push down on the tray, and it flexed enough to get the lifter out, but I got to do something different for the back for the very last one. So anyway, just another step. Gonna keep going. Something else I just noticed on the camshaft, you can see some of the lobes are pretty worn out. Like I said, if this is, I don't know if you can see it there. The odometer says 214,000, so if it's original, there's some miles on that, and they definitely look worn out, so that's a good reason. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that. It shows it pretty clear on my side, but it's definitely a good reason to change out the camshaft. Yeah, that one's a nice one there too. I don't know if you can see that, but so yeah, look at that wear. So yeah, it's time for a new one. So alright, going on. The side cover gasket is leaking. I just realized that, well, one, you can see all the cracks in it, and two, there's overspray on it, so this is the original gasket. You might be able to, oop, just lost my light. You might be able to see the crack there in the bottom. That's just on the outside, and then you can see all the oil draining down the bottom. It's mostly leaking on the back here. Yeah, right there for sure, and then on the corner, yeah, it's leaking pretty good. So that's the next step there, is pulling off the bracket here for the fuel injection pump, the computer, the fuel line bracket. Pull that piece out. I'm gonna get the camshaft installed, and that way that'll be open, and I can work with the lifters a little bit on it. And then once everything's cleaned, I will start putting things back together. I'll start with a fuel pump. Yeah, I have an aftermarket fuel pump for it, and then just working my way forward up to the timing gear. Put camshaft in it, clean the front up, and just start reassembling everything. So probably spend a better part of all day Saturday on just cleaning stuff up and getting it ready to go. Hate putting things back together dirty, and so it's just kind of one last little look. Like I said, I'll probably end up changing the oil pan gasket. I'm not sure why they had it off. Maybe it was leaking too, or maybe they thought that was originally where the the leak was coming from instead of the side cover. Oh, you know what? Since I have the light, here's all the different motor mount holes. Actually, it looks like it could be several. You've got one there, one there, one there, one there. So I'll have to look at the truck engine block I have in the garage to see if they have all those holes as well, because I'm not even sure now that I think about it. You know what? Let's go in and take a look at the truck engine block, because I'm really curious about it now. This engine block is from a 2002 25 or 3500. It's for another project, but it'll kind of give you an idea. So those mounting holes are the same. There's the two of them all the way up. Actually, no, they're different. It was more in the casting here. So I've got a mount. Where's it at? This mount is from a first generation Dodge truck. So it's got the two mounting bolts on the back side, and it mounts right there. So they are a little bit different. I wonder if these ones are the same. I'll run this mount back out to the truck. You know what I'm thinking here too? Oh, you know what? I'm so stupid. Oh my gosh, I'm on the wrong side. I'm on the wrong side, so maybe that'll make a difference. There we go. That makes much more sense. Okay, no, they're the same. Yeah. Mounting holes there. I will look at that one there, looks the same. What confused me was the drain hole. The other side didn't have a drain hole for the turbo, and then I noticed it didn't have the second one, so there's the second one. So anyway, the old gears were clashing. So like I said, this is a first generation manifold, or I'm sorry, mount. It's upside down, of course. So that one goes right there, and there's two extra above it. So let's run this back out. So to me, it looks the same. Get my light to stay there. This mount is probably gonna be, yeah, I can't get it in there, but anyway, that kind of solves that mystery. The holes are the same between this engine and the other engine blocks. And then it looks like it's a hole there, maybe for like a dipstick or something. I think you can see that there. And then drain plug for a second turbo. And what else? I think that's pretty much it. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it. Just kinda should be the same on a Dodge pickup if you guys have messed with that. So not a whole lot of difference. So anyway, that's gonna do it for this video. Well, that's gonna wrap this one up. I just wanted to take you guys along on the tear down process on it. I've got a couple more things to take off, and as I showed you there, and then the goal is to start getting it getting it prepped to put back together over the weekend. So I'm looking at Monday. If I can get everything all cleaned up, ready to go, we'll start putting this thing back together on Monday, and I'll take you along on that trip also. So with all that being said, appreciate you guys watching. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll keep posting up videos, and we'll see you on the next one.